And yesterday at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, as part of the UPSA Law School honorific lecture, Chikata had this to say.
I want to hear of the police going to a church on Sunday to arrest anyone when that person has gone to the police or to court whenever required to do so. In fact, political affiliation, settling political or personal scores, or wanting to show where power lies should not be the reason for criminal prosecution.
Yeah, he says criminal prosecution must not be politically motivated. We'll bring you excerpts of that particular lecture. But as always, let's get interactive. Join us on X. Use the hashtag JoySMS. On WhatsApp 05511119997. Coming up is the news at 6 with Mami AC Nyamiche Thompson.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live 99.5 and in all 16 regions of Ghana via partner stations. We're also live on myjoyonline.com, X Spaces, YouTube and Facebook. Coming up, Ghana gas operations grinds to a halt following a major technical fault that has triggered power outages in parts of the country. We have details. Also, GPRTU cautions against fare hikes as government removes 2 cedis 36 pesos for levies of diesel and petrol respectively to ease transport costs.
We are informing every transporter to make sure we are happy. Government has really reduced the fuel prices for us.
In business,
mixed reviews over fuel prices as diesel is set to go down marginally, but petrol expected to rise by almost 2% from today, despite a government decision to absorb some cost of petroleum products.
Also coming up, President Mahama cautions Ghanaians against the habit of late-night eating, warning that it contributes significantly to the rising burden of non-communicable diseases in the country.
You come from work in the evening and then your poor wife is tired. Come and do banku, come and stir banku for me at 10 o'clock in the night. Why? So an aspect of the free primary health care will be education.
Also, renowned legal practitioner Chikata cautions against the use of political power in prosecutions, warning that such tendencies undermine the integrity of the Ghana justice system.
Settling political or personal scores should not be the reason for criminal prosecution.
These and more with me, Mami AC Nyamiche Thompson. Do stay. This morning, a major technical fault at the Ghana gas processing plant has forced an emergency shutdown, disrupting gas supply to thermal power plants and causing power outages in parts of the country. The interruption is affecting homes, businesses and essential services, with some areas experiencing reduced electricity supply due to the constrained power generation. This was contained in a statement by Ghana Gas, and excerpts of that statement says that the disruption is the result of a complete failure of the burner management system controller for the heat medium system at the processing plant. The statement explains that this critical fault has triggered an emergency shutdown, which has in turn disrupted gas supply to thermal power plants and contributed to the current power outages in parts of the country. It also indicates that a full technical and safety assessment is underway while engineers work to replace the faulty system and restore operations as quickly as possible. Moving on, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union has cautioned its members against increasing fares following government's removal of 2 cedis, that's 6 pesos in margins, and levies of diesel and petrol, respectively. The union says the intervention should ease pressure on transport costs. The union has suspended a planned increment originally driven by rising operational costs and fuel price hikes linked to tensions in the Middle East. Abasi Moro is the Industrial Relations Officer of GPRTU.
Were to come up with an upward adjustment when government signal we should give them 2 days for this very result that has come up today. We are happy they've really come up with what we are expecting, that they've really been faithful to us. We are informing every transporter to make sure we are happy. Government has really reduced the fuel prices for us.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Energy says the policy is expected to bring a relief to consumers. Listen to Head of Corporate Affairs, Richmond Roxon.
It depends on how much fuel you buy. On a liter of diesel is 2 Ghana cedi per liter. On a liter of petrol is 0.36 SOS on a liter. And so if you look at a gallon for diesel alone, on each gallon you're saving 9 Ghana cedis.
Moving on, as African countries strive to achieve full self-reliance, policy leaders are proposing the establishment of an African-led economic forum to help shape the continent's economic future and drive sustainable development. Backing this initiative is former President John Agyekum Kufuor, and Michelle Lati reports.
Former President John Agyekum Kufuor is urging African nations to strengthen regional connectivity to tackle persistent challenges in transportation, trade and economic development across the continent. Speaking after a high-level briefing, the former president pointed to the difficulty of intra-African travel as a major impediment to economic integration, stressing the need for deliberate planning and prioritization to unlock the continent's full potential.
Talked of African unity and all that for the past about 60, 70 years. But where is the transportation? You are in Accra. Suppose you want to go to, say, even in West Africa, you want to go to Dakar, Senegal. How long will it take you now? So there are so many aspects to consider. And I think it would enjoin us to sit, put Africa, if you like, the entire map of Africa before us. We must study it and work it out well.
Meanwhile, board chair of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Akwesi Owusu, is advocating an African-driven economic platform to boost competitiveness and self-reliance.
So you see that the global economy is structured in a way that does not benefit Africa. So this initiative, the Africa Economic Forum, is to be a vehicle for Africa to own its own economic policies and the implementation of policies that benefits Africa.
The renewed calls for integration are aimed at positioning Africa as a formidable force in the global trade. For Joy News, Michelle Lati.
President John Dramani Mahama has taken a light-hearted swipe at Ghanaians' preference for heavy late-night meals, particularly banku and fufu, warning that unhealthy lifestyle choices combined with little or no physical activity can increase the risk of non-communicable diseases such as hypertension and heart-related conditions. He made the remarks at the launch of the free primary healthcare program, which seeks to strengthen preventive healthcare. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Ogbagba reports.
Government has in recent times been raising alarm over the rise of non-communicable diseases, which account for nearly half of mortalities in Ghana. President John Mahama raised similar concerns, calling for increased physical exercise among citizens.
Heavy foods, you are not physically active, you are sitting in one place, and yet when they give you your fufu or banku, you say it's too small. You want a big bowl of fufu, and you want to eat it every day. Sometimes you eat it at night before you go and sleep. All those dietary changes you'll be educated on. Please, by 7 o'clock, eat your dinner and don't eat again. If you are hungry, just take some cup of tea or something. Don't eat any heavy food. Banku in the evening, you come from work in the evening,
Well, he has arrived in Brazzaville, Congo to attend the inauguration ceremony of President Denis Nguazo, who has been re-elected for another 5-year term as Congo's president. He is expected to return to Accra after Thursday's morning ceremony. Now, the minority in Parliament has criticized the High Court ruling restricting prosecutorial powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, warning that the decision could embolden corruption and shield politically exposed persons from justice. On Top Story, Swami MP and legal counsel for the minority, John Darko, said the ruling is a dangerous shift that lends overwhelming control to the Attorney General's Department.
The reason why this act was passed was to grant that independence so that we as a country can fight corruption head on. Right now, you cannot bring any action independently. You have to go to this political appointee who may tell you that, no, don't bring this action against this NDC appointee. So this action against this person, because then the AG becomes a gatekeeper of who can be brought before, justice in the person who commits an offense.
Renowned legal practitioner Chikata has cautioned that prosecutions must never be used to demonstrate where power lies, warning that such an approach undermines the integrity of Ghana's justice system and weakens public confidence in the law. Mr. Chikata made the remarks at an honorary lecture organized by the University of Professional Studies Accra Law School, where he was conferred with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Emmanuel Samani reports.
The lecture forms part of efforts by the UPSA Law School to honor individuals who have made significant contributions to Ghana's legal development. Mr. Chikata, a long-standing figure in Ghana's legal and academic space, has over the years played key roles in public service, legal advocacy, and legal education. Addressing the gathering, he cautioned against what he describes as the misuse of legal processes to assert authority.
Settling political or personal scores or wanting to show where power lies should not be the reason for criminal prosecution.
Vice President Professor Jane Nano Pokwajiman used the occasion to emphasize the importance of responsible leadership and the proper exercise of power.
His career reflects a particular understanding of the law, not only as a profession, but also as a discipline that demands rigor, independence, and judgment.
Chief Justice, His Lordship Bafo Boni, acknowledged his enduring contribution to the legal profession.
Over the years, Mr. Chikata has distinguished himself as a lawyer of formidable skill and rare depth.
Emmanuel Samani for Joy News.
And just before we head out, the police has arrested the robbery gang leader and one other in connection with the robbery incident that led to the death of Brekum Chelsea footballer Dominic Frimpong. He was 20, and that's all for the bulletin this morning. Up next is business on the Super Morning Show. Do stay.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, and what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
When I say say ABSA, you say yes. ABSA Bakiti, we go say yes this 2026 till your jobs start dropping down. Yes, you listening to me right now. I know you get dreams. A work is here. And a work it well. Like me, I want to buy that Porsche car I've been dreaming of. I move into my dream house. No landlord will say me. Join the ABSA family and let's help you say yes to your dreams with tailored banking solutions from loans, mortgages, credit cards to digital banking and more. Make 2026 the year of yes with ABSA. Your story matters.
You need a trusty friend on whom you can depend when things come crashing down. You need a trusty friend on whom you can depend when things come crashing down. Insurance, your trustworthy friend. Insurance, your trustworthy friend.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
Enjoy homemade taste of Shito always with Didi Shito. Made with carefully selected ingredients, no preservatives, no colorants.
Preservative just helps us spice. That's how we taste. Spicy we eat.
Didi Shito, if you do need. This advert is FDA approved.
Cast your mind back to 2022. The prices were rising. The stress was high. Every liter of fuel felt like a sacrifice. Do you remember who stepped forward first? When others were comfortable with high prices, Star Oil chose you. We cut our own profits so you could keep your AC on, keep your engines running, and keep your life moving without the heavy burden. We gave you room to breathe when things felt tight. Because of you, our star savers, we became number one. Today, the pumps are a battleground. Others are finally cutting prices because they have to. But Star Oil, we do it because we want to. Don't just chase a price, remember a friendship. We were there for you then, and with new innovations coming your way, we are here for you now. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
When the bills are mega.
When the plans are mega.
When the pressure is mega.
When the need is mega.
Then you need a mega answer. That answer is Societe Generale Ghana's Mega Loan. Societe Generale Ghana's Mega Loans promo is available to new and existing salaried workers, existing loan subscribers, including top-up customers and pensioners. Get support for personal needs, family priorities, school fees, home improvement, business support, and more. Enjoy big loans, low rates with a quick and straightforward process designed to help you move without delay. Visit any Societe Generale Ghana branch today or call 030-2214-314. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Right, so welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And the 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Absa Bank Ghana Limited. Your story matters. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, and Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you, which means we can bring you the Joy Business Report brought to us by Safari Valley Resort, bringing you closer to nature. And Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank. James.
Winston, good morning.
Good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, as you can see, God is still taking very good care of his children.
We thank God.
We thank God for life. But last night I slept in paradise, and when I say paradise, it's a term from my days growing up in Mali Estate.
Oh, okay.
Anytime someone defaulted the payment of electricity bills and had their lights cut, we say, oh, they are in paradise. So I was in paradise last night, because Charlie, and when I was going home, Charlie, I was so angry. Because, look, I was driving through an area, and the whole area had light, and just before I got to my estate, darkness. So I called the Accra East manager of ECG, Bismarck O2. And I said, hey, manager, now on them now what? Then he explained to me that, Charlie, and I said, but I thought that this gridco thing, then anyway. So this one we're going to be finding out. But after midnight, I got light. The electricity was restored. So at least I was able to sleep small, like we say in Ghana. But we're told that there were some disruptions, at the Atoabo gas processing plant, causing that major challenge. We'll find out what has happened. The statement indicated that the engineers were trying to solve that. Has it been solved? If it's not been solved, then it means that today we'll get into that.
I think it happened in other parts of the country too.
It did.
Someone from Cape Coast and Takrady yesterday.
Yeah, those areas were really affected.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but this morning also, it'll be important to talk about petroleum prices because, yesterday before we signed off on the Super Morning Show, I talked about diesel going down by 2 cedis and petrol by 36 pesos. Yeah. That's what was announced. And the price floor for petrol
now being slashed.
It's 13 cedis, 27
pesos, and diesel 16.10.
So it means that, but for the 2 cedis, diesel's price floor would have been 18 cedis, 10 pesos.
10 pesos, yeah.
Then, that of
petrol would have been 15.27.
Would have been 30, because you're looking at,
it's currently 13 now.
So petrol is 13.27.
27, yeah.
13.27, okay. You had this, now would have taken it to say 13.63. Okay, that's good. But let's just wait. The second pricing window is today, okay? We'll find out what the OMCs will do. Because, yes, let's find out what they will do.
I mean, there are some updates from some of them. It's all part of the Joy Business Report. We'll give those updates to our listeners this morning.
That's good. That's good. We'll be waiting patiently for that update. But also, this morning, I started the show with a song by Prophet Seth from Okum Chola. It's a miracle. I'm not sure.
Well, you've had a miracle in recent times.
I'm not sure of me having a miracle, but I was surprised that what happened in the court yesterday, that this is a case that is at the Supreme Court. So why did the High Court judge then get into it and say the OSP cannot prosecute without the authorization of the Attorney General? We'll get into that conversation here on the Super One. It was a very packed show, and Chikata has been speaking. He says, look, criminal prosecutions should not be politically motivated. I agree. Anyway, all of these coming up here on the Super Morning Show. Who gets the trumpet, James?
Listen, it's a double trumpet. The NP and also transport operators. NP for slashing the fuel price floor. And also transport operators for also suspending the increment. I mean, the proposed increment. So, we're giving it to the National Petroleum Authority and also transport operators.
Okay, and already I see that new fuel prices effective.
Yeah.
I've seen that of Goil. I just got a message.
Yeah, I currently have that of Star Oil too.
So Goil is the price floor for petrol 13.27.
Yeah.
And then you share the rest with us on the Joy Business Report.
Sure.
And so to
the NPA and transport operators,
and also the OMCs that are cushioning us, we say
trumpet. Hi, good morning, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up in this morning's bulletin, amidst the reviews over fuel prices, as diesel set to go down marginally, but petrol expected to rise by almost 2% from today, despite government intervention. Meanwhile, economics professor Peter Korte wants government to keep suspension of some margins of petroleum products beyond the proposed 4 weeks. And still in this bulletin, producer price inflation for March 2026 increases marginally to 1.5%. We'll hear from the Ghana Statistical Service. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Joy Business Report. My name is James Ishen. Let's settle for the details now. Now, the price of diesel is set to go down marginally at the pumps from today. Petrol, on the other hand, will go up by almost 2%. This is despite the decision of government to absorb some levies on petroleum products from today, April 16. There is more in the following Business Desk report.
According to some of the oil marketing companies, consumers are said to experience these price cuts on the market despite the decision by government to take up some of the cost. They argue that prices would have been far higher if government had not stepped in to take part of the cost. They also rejected argument that the action by government should have seen some drastic reduction in prices of petroleum products at the pumps from this morning. However, some of the oil marketing companies have told Joy Business that due to the current market competition, they might move to reduce prices of all their petroleum products on the market from this morning. According to data from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, diesel will go down by some 3.8% per litre, whilst petrol will go up by almost 2% per litre.
And that was a Business Desk report. Meanwhile, economics professor Peter Korte wants government to keep the suspension of some margins on petroleum products beyond the proposed 4 weeks. Professor Korte noted that current data has shown the Middle East crisis could be lasting a while longer. He has been speaking to Joy Business in Washington, D.C. on the sidelines of the annual IMF World Bank spring meetings.
So, I mean, if you could listen to the fiscal report that was discussed yesterday, the effects of this war will not go away in 4 weeks. The effects will go away per a year or two. So 4 weeks for me is too short. Of course, there's a need for a review in 4 weeks, but it should not be taken away. When it's reviewed, maybe you maintain what is there or even do more. But I don't think we're going to see government scrapping these margins in 4 weeks. That would not be a prudent way to go.
Yeah, I mean, so you think that when the time is due, it should be still sustained by the suspension?
It should be sustained.
And that was economics professor Peter Korte there speaking to Joy Business in Washington, D.C. Also, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has welcomed the decision by government to absorb 2 Ghana cedis per litre on diesel and 36 pesos per litre on petrol, describing the intervention as timely relief for consumers. Executive Secretary of the of COPEC, Duncan Amoah, said the move will ease the burden on transport operators and households struggling with high fuel costs. He spoke to Joy Business.
If you ask, most Ghanaian users or consumers are excited by this announcement. At least it gives us some relief and a window to also further observe or monitor to see for the next 4 week period what the Israeli, Iranian, American conflicts, what it would be like, and as to whether government would need to come back to enforce all taxes or it would need to find some other solution to the Ghanaian petroleum user. But like I said, it's a very good first step.
Duncan Amoah is the Executive Secretary of COPEC. Now, meanwhile, some oil marketing companies have started reducing prices of all their prices on the market. Market leader Star Oil and Goil have all gone down on prices. They're selling a litre of petrol at 13 cedis 27 pesos, and diesel is going for 16 cedis 10 pesos. All these major oil marketing firms are selling at a price floor quote set by the National Petroleum Authority. Now, away from fuel-related matters, the Cement Manufacturers Association of Ghana has petitioned the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to urgently review recent increases in free on-board values on key raw materials used in cement production, warning that if care is not taken, this could increase cement prices and the cost of housing. We'll get to that particular voice in our subsequent bulletin. Now, a new data from the Ghana Statistical Service has shown that the ex-factory price of goods and services increased by 1.5% between March 2025 and March 2026. The rate is 0.1 percentage point higher than the February 2026 producer inflation rate and 22.9 percentage point lower than the March 2025 producer inflation rate. There's more in this report.
On a month-on-month basis, producer prices for goods and services increased by 0.7% in March 2026 compared to February 2026. The mining and quarrying, the largest sector, with a weight of 43.7%, recorded a 0.2 percentage point decrease, falling from 4.1% in February 2026 to 3.9% in March 2026. The manufacturing sector, which makes up 35% of the PPI weights, increased minus 2.9% in February 2026 to minus 2.2% in March 2026, gaining 0.7 percentage points. The producer inflation in the transport and storage subsector also continued to fall, declining from 8.6% in February 2026 to 9.6% in March 2026. For households, the Ghana Statistical Service advised that they rearrange consumption towards goods and services with more stable prices to help preserve real incomes. With manufacturing, the Statistical Service pointed out that inflation is still negative. Therefore, firms that rely on manufacturing inputs should consider negotiating medium-term supply agreements to secure more favorable pricing. At the same time, the month-on-month inflation suggests short-term price pressures, so firms should adjust pricing strategies cautiously to avoid potential demand contraction.
And that was a business desk report. You're still listening to the Joy Business Report. Now, the Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission is tightening enforcement in Ghana's booming delivery sector, warning that it is illegal to operate without a license as more individuals enter the space. In an interview on the AM show, PR and Consumer Affairs Manager Edwin Ni Yabua Bergeson says the Commission is expanding digital access to licensing while clamping down on unregulated operators to protect consumers.
It is illegal to offer courier or delivery services in the country without a license duly issued by the Commission. We offer the license that affords you the opportunity to work within a period of 1 year. The license is renewable. We have different licenses that we give out because there are local operators and there are international operators as well. Not only are we licensing companies, we are licensing individuals as well. So we introduced a category that we call the single biker category.
Okay.
So the single bikers category is very unique. We don't treat them as companies, and the requirements to get your license have been reduced. In August of 2025, we undertook an enforcement exercise with the Ghana Police Service where many illegal operators, people who were operating without a license issued by the Commission, were apprehended.
Edwin Ni Yabua Bergeson is the Public Relations and Consumer Affairs Manager, Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission. And on today's Investor Eye, treat your mobile money number as your bank account number and desist from sharing credentials to strangers in order to stay safe. That's according to the Chief Executive of Mobile Money Fintech Limited, Shaibu Haruna.
The bit around mobile money is that it's almost like your phone number is the same as you can equate it to your bank account number. So by default, anybody who has your number has your bank account number. So treat your mobile money as you would treat your cash. You don't have to share any credential with anybody calling you with respect to your funds. So if in doubt, reach out to our 419 channel and validate.
And that was the Chief Executive of Mobile Money Fintech Limited, Shaibu Haruna, on today's Investor Eye episode. Now, to some commodities, crude oil open trading at $95 a barrel this morning. Gold added more than $34 and selling at $4,825 an ounce. Cocoa lost $83 to open trading at $3,563 a ton. To some currency news now, the dollar is this morning going for 11 cedis 20 pesos. That's the rate some of the major commercial banks are offering to their clients. The euro is going for 13 cedis 16 pesos. The British pound is trading at 15 cedis 15 pesos. The forex bureaus, on the other hand, are selling a dollar at 11 cedis 50 pesos. And that's all for the Joy Business Report. With me, James Shen. Back to Winston Amoah. Miss Donia.
Yeah, James. Let me see. Okay, crude oil
95.
Anyway, hey, the dollar
11.20.
for 11.20. It was 11.17 yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. It means that we should bring you our inspirational song. You know, today I'm feeling Prophet Seth Frimpong. I want to do, Afiwe Yamafe.
And then what can?
I need to do, Prophet Seth Frimpong. Seth Frimpong Afiwe. Oh, I need to do that because this year may just be your year. So don't worry, okay? As for the way things are going there, Charlie, it's not easy. Anyway, let's enjoy this one that Jojo is choosing for us.
This can only be God on our side. And let's sing it together.
And that's Akwabua, okay, and TY Crew Semeshe. That's our inspirational song for today. Good morning, Joseph Boateng.
Mr. Amoah. Good morning. How are you?
It's been a while since I heard that name, Mr. Amoah.
We had a deacon at our church. He later became an elder, Bomso Church of Christ. He was called Mr. Amoah Dente. But we used to call him Ejamwa.
Ejamwa sounds like Ejamwa. And you know what Ejamwa means?
Yes. Oh, Mr. Amoah and his lovely wife and his daughters, Eunice and Brenya. Oh, Charlie, I miss Church of Christ, Bob. So, Ejamwa. Anyway, good morning. I hope you're well.
I was looking for Seth Frimpong's this. Then
yes, that I feel you're laughing, but I feel doesn't want to be after. So the song doesn't want to play.
I have seen the song now. That's the Miriso. Miriso. So the man with the presidential height in the past, George Kui, Abuaji. Good morning. And I was looking for the thing. Then I saw Mihriso. Charlie, see, I think I should just do this. See, this is the song.
Dropping the kakra.
This is the song that I was going to drop for you. Listen to this one. Okay, so yes, Mihriso, this will be your year. It's just the 4th month of the year. So like I keep telling you and reminding you all the time, don't worry. Whatever it is, it shall come to pass.
People, what Winston is saying is that whatever it is, it shall come to pass. But what I want to add is that, Charlie, if you don't do the job, you will not get the results. Because hope is not a plan.
Yeah, you must work.
You know, there are people, who wake up with vim. Oh, Charlie, today I'm going to make it. And they just inspire themselves without a plan or strategy. So I feel where you're off it, but they must go with a strategy.
Oh, it has to go with a strategy.
Yes.
The dancing prophet, set from home.
Yes.
Prophet set
from home.
Oh yeah, the dancing prophet.
I saw a video of Kojo Jesse last week. You know, he went for Mami Tiwa's funeral, or was it 1 week? That was a funeral, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Kojo Jesse we miss him, and his big bow ties. No, those were not bow ties, flying ties.
Flying ties.
You know, Kojo Jesse's tie can sew a shirt for me.
you know when I was actually coming. No, when I woke up around 1 a.m. because you know I was in paradise in darkness. Then around 1 a.m. I realized that I have light. So what I did was to think of the song I was going to do, and I was trying to do one from Kweku JC. And while thinking about all those guys, I settled on Okumchola.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. That's the sign-on song. Anyway, Kwakwa Shante has joined us. Kwakwa Shante.
Papa Winston.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How we do? I mean, with all the wahala and trouble in town, we are up. So we give thanks to the Almighty God. Me, I didn't listen to
LSC Bechenyo. My upper brother's LSC Bechenyo.
What does that mean?
It is so too good.
It is so too good.
I see. How for do?
Last week, this man was saying he wanted a 2 CD reduction in the fuel price.
And I
for
think
petrol, you got 36 pesos.
For petrol, yes. Buy a diesel car.
Oh, how?
You can go and sell your car and buy a diesel car.
But if you buy a diesel car, your fuel cost is still higher.
No, that's why if you want to experience 2 cities. Let's get into our Drive Safe campaign.
Now, the Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality, Imperial General Assurance, Solid Protection. Always avoid all distractions. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible. Drive with your lights on. That's how to ensure your safe arrival. Today's tip is about filling your tank. You know, the ramps that cars climb so that they can get a proper full tank in their own estimation, it still happens. You may not be seeing it in the city, but when you go to the rural areas, you see that a lot. And you've been told that that is not a good way of filling your tank. Let the car be level once you're filling and you hear the click, it means that your tank is full. Just leave it there. Okay, don't say bubika until you see the fuel spilling. The engineers designed the fuel tank to give you a sense of it getting full with a click.
Yeah.
So when you hear the click, just tell the attendant to hold on to any extra filling so that you don't put yourself in danger.
Okay, which means we can learn how to say it right. Brought to us by Kingdom Books. Kingdom quality and affordability are their hallmarks. And Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you. Okay, so today let's learn the pronunciation of this word. UNFAZED.
Say that again.
UNFAZED.
It sounds like a UN agency, UNFPA, UNHCR, UN.
I'm unfazed by your threats.
Come again?
I'm unfazed by all your shenanigans.
Okay, I like that. I'm unfazed. Okay. So it's unfazed. For all of you who are tempted to say unfazed. No.
So unfazed.
Unfazed.
Okay.
There's
what does it mean?
Not worried.
Means true.
Yeah, you're not worried. Yeah, that's it.
No
basically.
bagawaya.
That's what it simply means. You're not surprised or not worried. And so if you're unfazed about challenges, it means you're not worried about challenges. Okay, so she seems unfazed by her sudden success and fame. Means she's not surprised or she's not worried by that. Okay?
Yes,
that's how you say it right. Okay? So it means we can now tell you about the SG Mega Loan. So Gwagwasanti, if you want to get your new car.
The Shangan Unisia.
Yes, from Yatisu Bium, Yasana Tesu promos. Societe Generale Ghana is here with the Mega Loans promo, with even lower and competitive rates. Okay, with SG Ghana's Mega Loans promo, salaried workers of SG Ghana listed companies, pensioners, and eligible customers can access support for personal needs, family commitments, home projects, and more. So from now till July 2026, apply and enjoy big loans at small rates. Yes, very low rates and a fast, hassle-free process that helps you to get moving sooner. Visit any SG Ghana branch near you or call 0302-214-314 for more details about the SG Ghana Mega Loans promo today. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
And Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment and furniture at affordable prices, has introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. You can shop at kingdomstoreonline.com without physically going to any of their shops. It's hassle-free, $1 delivery to your homes and offices within a reasonable time. And they also offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Amoah across all networks. Terms and conditions, however, apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability is their hallmark.
Great, which means we can get into the newspapers. And it's brought to us by Syntex Tanker, Stronger, Tough, Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, Happy Smile, and Star Oil, quality and affordable fuel for all, as well as Enterprise Insurance, your advantage.
I have the daily guide, but before I read the headlines, Winston, yesterday I was at the Tema industrial area, where Tema Oil Refinery and a lot of the big manufacturing companies are, and the road is still terrible. And my question is, why do we leave a productive area like that with very bad roads? And I also saw the ghost of the concrete roads that we wanted to do. You know, the concrete roads that the previous government said, you know, they did some small concrete road. It is there. So my question for Agboja is that what is his plan for the Tema industrial area? Are we going to leave these big employers and these big taxpayers on their own and not provide them with better roads so that their trucks and their vehicles can move better? And so that's a question I'm putting to the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Now, Daily Guide front page, OSP has no power to prosecute. This is according to the High Court. Now, a sad story here. Girl, 4 years old, dies from sexual assault. That story is on page 6 of the Daily Guide. Earlier this week, China executed people who sexually abused children. And there were people who condemned it, but there were people who were happy that China was going all out to ensure that they put fear in people who would want to abuse children sexually. Now, still with the daily guide, police seize 22 slabs of cocaine and 400,000 Ghana cedis in narcotics bust. And Interior Ministry imposes curfew on Karaga and Gushegu and stop state-sponsored harassment. This is the NPP to the government, and it bears a picture of Henry Nanabuache.
The Daily Gist says Shraj probes Atoforsen over ex-gratia payments, and then feeder petition CJ over judges' conduct in RNAQ divorce case, sack ECG engineers over Ashanti region Dumso. That is the NDC regional chairman Augustus Nanakwesi Andrew speaking there, and then drama in court as Baba Mando caged over Facebook post. All of that on the Daily Gist.
The Daily Graphic, President charges Ghanaians to lead healthy lifestyles as he launches the free primary healthcare program. He says, Charlie, when you go home, when you get home late, 10 p.m., don't eat bankful and sleep. Don't eat fufu and sleep. When you get home, take something light and sleep.
It has treated a lot of people.
Well, I agree. You don't have to eat heavily. You don't have to eat, heavy foods before you sleep at night. Why? Also on the front page, file income tax returns by end of April. That's according to the Ghana Revenue Authority. OSP unfazed by power to prosecute ruling, and immigration rescues 305 trafficked West African nationals. The back page of the Daily Graphic says stop destructive activities around Lake Busumchi, Arocha, Ghana. An energy commission to set up system to monitor power outages, according to the minister.
The Insight has some very interesting stories. Government cuts fuel prices to cushion Ghanaians against rising petroleum prices due to U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. High Court orders AG to take over OSP prosecutions. That story is making a lot of waves. And then Mahama says non-communicable diseases driving Ghana's health crisis and why Angola's debt to Cuba is unfinished. And then Kwesi Pratt slams reform UK visa threat or reparations. All of this on the front page of the Inside newspaper.
Which means we can get into the online news review, and the online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest.
And if you go to My Joy Online, fuel relief not from government. Comac CEO says fuel cuts are industry burden. So industry says they are the ones going to take the burden of the fuel cuts, not the government of Ghana. Now, former AG Aikwe Otu explains High Court's jurisdiction in AG OSP prosecutorial ruling. That is also on My Joy Online. And OSP has no grounds to appeal High Court decision on prosecutorial powers. This is Professor Apiaje Etua speaking. On the fuel prices, Richmond Roxon says fuel price cuts show Mahama government is people centered. So Komak says no, we are bearing the cost of this fuel price hikes reductions. Government says, oh, we are showing you love. Yes. So
you look at City Newsroom. Chikata Sal residents deserves reparations over historic injustice. Government won't claw back fuel relief costs from consumers. That is Energy Ministry. PEMCA partly accept blame for lack of OSP authorization. Brekum Chelsea attack. Suspected gang leader, one other arrested, and then free sanitary pads improving girls' retention in schools. That is the Africa Education Watch.
Okay, let's get into the details of the papers then.
Okay, let me give you the big story on the front page of the Daily Guide. OSP has no power to prosecute according to a High Court. Now, the story by Jibril Abdulrazak says a High Court has directed the Office of the Attorney General to take over all prosecutions initiated by the Office of the Special Prosecutor without prior authorization by the AG. This follows the court's ruling that the OSP does not have the independent prosecutorial power to initiate and prosecute corruption and related offences without authorization from the Attorney General. The High Court gave the order in spite of a writ pending before the Supreme Court challenging the act establishing the OSP.
Very interesting story. And I mean, if you look at the judgment, I think it's very interesting, particularly in the face of the case that is currently pending before the Supreme Court. There are those who took the view that the High Court judge ought to have stayed his arms because of the nature of the reliefs he would have granted in that matter, and allow the Supreme Court to take a decision on that. But nonetheless, Justice Nyante believed that this matter was squarely within his bosom, and he has ruled. It has real cascading effect. Of course, the High Court, as we know, does not have jurisdiction, does not have its rulings do not bind other high courts, but they persuade. So what is going to happen is all of the other people who are going to court with the OSP are going to show up and say that, listen, your brother in another high court has given this ruling. In fact, there's this matter before the Supreme Court. We think you should stay your hands. Let's wait till the Supreme Court rules on that.
And is that not what the High Court judge should have done?
Well, that is what another High Court judge actually did, the criminal division. But this judge really took a different view, reading the OSP Acts and applying his own understandings to the Constitution. So, and that is why you've heard people like Kojo saying that there's real grounds for appeal. There are those who say that he should have been restrained a little bit, but he went ahead. We will see what the Supreme Court will do. I really think they should be a bit fast about it, because this has a way of actually grinding the prosecutorial bit of the OSP to a halt up until this matter is dealt with by the Supreme Court. Let me give you this interesting story in the Daily Gist. Shraj probes Atoforsen over ex gratia payments. It says the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice is investigating Finance Minister Castle Atoforsen following allegation of selective payments of ex gratia benefits to members of the 8th Parliament while excluding officials from the executive arm of the previous administration. The complaint was filed by Wilberforce Asare, a Ghanaian broadcast journalist who accuses the finance minister of bias and conflict of interest in the disbursement of Article 71 emoluments. According to the petitioner, while MPs, including the minister himself, received their ex gratia payments in 2 installments in May and July 2025, officials who served in the executive as well as other constitutional holders such as the Council of State have yet to be paid. The petitioner argues that the minister, who is also served as a sitting MP, placed himself in a position where his personal interests conflicted with his official duties. It's interesting. I thought we said we were going to cancel this ex gratia thing. Muhammad did say that.
You see, the ex gratia conversation, I think we've not situated it
in proper context.
Yeah. I'll explain why.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that the Independent Emoluments Commission will do a better job.
Yeah.
So, for instance,
the back
MPs, Article 71 office holders, they get into office and are on the salaries of their previous office holders.
Yeah.
So right now, the MPs who are in office, their salaries are the salaries from the last Emoluments Committee's report. So the president would form a committee, and that committee would determine how much they should be paid.
Yeah.
Now, the committee's determination would only be enforced at the end of the tenure of the president. That's what we have been doing. That's not what the law says, but that's what we have been doing.
And it's not appropriate at all, Winston. That people are taking office and their salary is paid at the end of the 4 years.
So by the time they're leaving office, they now agree on how much they should be paid. Listen, and once they agree on how much they should be paid,
back pay.
Their back pay. So what we have called ex gratia and end of service benefits also includes the arrears owed these officials. So yes, you can actually cut the part that says for every year that you served, you'll be paid 2 months,
2 months or 4 months,
or 4 months. You can cancel that. But as for his arrears, his back pay,
you have to pay it.
You have to pay it.
But we need to stop it. Honestly, I think it's a I won't say corrupt, but it's a very ingenious way that these politicians and these Article 71 office holders just line their own pockets. Because you stay on the current salary for 4 years.
Yes.
And then when your tenure ends, that is when you are setting a committee to set up or to agree on your salary for the last 4 years. Then we have to come and agree and then pay you. And then you know what happens? Executive approve that of Parliament, and then Parliament they will sack all of us journalists from the chamber and say they are going to do close sitting. Then they do that for the executive as well. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. So if the executive decide to give Parliament small, they say you to will show you small. What is this? The moment you take office, you should know. Winston, when he started here and he took his 45,000, he knew right from the start that this is what he's taking. He has been doing this for like 5, 6 years now. He's not going to finish before he goes to Kenansen's office and say, oh, let's agree for the pay that I have to take. I don't think it's appropriate that we should do that. He take that, he buys his Land Cruiser, he builds his house, he does his piggery business. He's good. Everybody goes home smiling, not waiting for 4 years to take their salary.
You are only opening me up for...
No. Your family people should come and take their deal.
for SOS calls. But that's okay. Look, I can understand where you come from, and it's a point that we've made. You see, the challenge with what we practice, the democracy we practice, is that while the expectation is that in other jurisdictions, Parliament is very strong. They check the executive, because also in other jurisdictions, members of parliament can be voted against based on the positions they take.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in our part of the world, we are unable to even know the positions of our members of parliament. Once a while, when it's subjected to a vote, there's a whip system, and they all are whipped in line. They say, let's do division. But you see, in the West, when you are voting, you vote on your own. So we will see how you voted. And then we'll see that, okay, this guy voted this way. So that's what he thinks. Unfortunately, we're unable to vote out our members of parliament because they supported certain things.
Our members of parliament and our politicians, they don't have positions on anything. They don't have positions on the only position.
Because we have not given them the chance to have the positions.
It's what they'll use to maintain their seats and possibly make money. I'll give you an example. Politician Henry Nana Boakye stop state-sponsored harassment, NPP to government. Right? He's in opposition. He's saying we should stop state-sponsored harassment. Like yesterday, I read other stories. Right? Let them come to power. We will see the same thing.
The NDC did say the same thing.
When they were in opposition, when they were in power.
The reason why Lateef Idrisu's journalistic career is being held in abeyance is because he went to cover NDC protests at the CID headquarters. The who had been arrested, the bulldozer, and then the police beat this guy up in a way that the matter is still in court. And then the NDC now turn around, and then you arrest some guy because he does a caricature of somebody, and that is speech. That is the classical definition of free speech, political speech.
Yeah.
You are making a lot of noise about anti-LGBTQ, but you come and now you say it's not a priority, and then somebody does a caricature of you and that and put it online. It's a protest. It's a speech. Then you go and arrest this guy, and the judge actually says that this guy should go into the cooler for 2 weeks.
It depends on how full or how empty their stomachs are. Anyway, let's go to page 13 of the Daily Guide. Primary health care will not replace NHIs. This is President Mahama speaking, and President John Dramani Mahama has disclosed that the newly launched free primary health care program is not a replacement of the existing national health insurance scheme. Speaking at the launch in Accra, he said the free primary health care is complementary to the national health insurance. It is not coming to replace it. It is coming to complement the national health insurance scheme. We are told they are going to build primary health stations across the country.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And I asked a question yesterday. It's part of our problems in this country. But let's go for the BBC News. When we come back, we'll talk about it. The BBC News brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Became part of that digital trend, and why the country's government is now unravelling its education policies.
Back to Books, Sweden's digital backlash, today at 8:30 GMT. Business Daily is in 30 minutes.
Today, we're stepping into the ring to explore the world of professional wrestling, now a multi-billion-dollar business. From massive streaming deals and global fan subscriptions to new wrestling promotions trying to break into the market.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Welcome to the inquiry on the BBC World Service with me, Daniel Rosny. 5 countries have withdrawn from this year's Eurovision Song Contest because of Israel's participation.
We received a lot of protests from the Eurovision fans who said we shouldn't be on the stage.
Israel has described calls for it to be banned as unjustified. This isn't the first time geopolitics has made its way into the competition.
There's always this saying like, oh, it's all politics.
The contest organisers insist on the event being neutral.
Typically, boycotts have not really ever changed much in the way of politics.
As Eurovision prepares to celebrate its 70th edition, it's facing the biggest crisis in its history.
To act against Israel, there had to be a broader context of international sanctions by European states against Israel, which we simply haven't seen.
This week on The Inquiry, we're asking, how will countries boycotting Eurovision affect the contest?
BBC News with Govinda Gill. President Trump has suggested that the leaders of Israel and Lebanon will speak